But what is this AI discovery, and what makes it so threatening?
Shrouded in mystery, OpenAI's new project, Q-Star, has been undergoing development under closed doors. However, details of the new project have begun to leak because the project has witnessed a breakthrough no one anticipated. This breakthrough was reportedly so scary, an alarm had to be raised. So, what do we know about the Q-Star? And what impact would this new technology have on humanity?
We know from Reuters reporting that, according to their sources, it may be some kind of powerful artificial intelligence discovery at OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, and that there are fears it is so powerful it could threaten humanity.
Based on details unofficially revealed, Project Q-Star is an artificial intelligence algorithm created by OpenAI to learn and perform mathematics problems. Initially, it would only solve grade school mathematics, but things took a turn, and now it's believed to have the ability to solve simple math problems outside its training material. This development hints at a technology more sophisticated than regular AI, and that is Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI.
OpenAI's very existence is the quest for what's called artificial general intelligence.
The day will come when the digital brains that live inside our computers will become as good and even better than our own biological brains.
Unlike present-day AI systems that can only perform narrow and specific tasks like playing chess and generating images, AGIs are more sophisticated machines that can observe, learn, and reason like a human across several fields. According to OpenAI, AGI is an autonomous system that surpasses humans in most economically valuable tasks. In their definition, they stayed clear of the term self-aware systems, but that is what many people presume. Due to the AGI formerly existing only in theory, you can imagine the adrenaline rush scientists at OpenAI experienced when the Q-Star displayed rudimentary signs of general intelligence. However, the details revealed show that not many were thrilled by this supposed breakthrough because of its likely harmful consequences.
This discovery was apparently alarming enough that at some point, after a group of OpenAI researchers took their concern to the board, like, oh my God, are you all aware of what this company is working on? The CEO, Sam Altman, was fired.
However, before going into details about the consequences, let's discuss in detail some of its reported capabilities and how it would work.
So we could also imagine a robot. A robot is acting in the world. So to train these kinds of systems that take decisions and actions and then get some feedback, and the world changes and then they act again, just like us. Reinforcement learning has been designed to train those systems based on their experience so that they can achieve goals, for example, just like you train your cat or your dog.
From its name Q-Star, there is already a hint at how vast its abilities would be. The Q probably refers to Q-learning, a type of machine learning used in reinforcement learning. The star is allegedly from the A-search algorithm, a pathfinding and graph intersecting algorithm commonly used in computer science. So, leaning on what we assume the name means, we'll give a breakdown of how it would work. Q-learning, which we assume the Q stands for, is a very important AI technique, and it makes use of something called reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is a technique where good is rewarded and bad comes with penalties. So, let's paint a scenario for better understanding. Let's assume you're training a dog to do tricks, maybe to do a spin or raise its paw to give a handshake. You instruct the dog to perform the action, and once it does, it gets a treat. And the penalty for not doing the action is not getting a treat. If you continue doing this repeatedly, the dog will learn that there's a reward anytime it does what is commanded, and a penalty if it doesn't. So that's a simple breakdown of what reinforcement learning is. Q-learning is also known for making use of a model-free and off-policy approach. Model-free means it determines the next step as it proceeds, like a trial and error approach. And off-policy means that it comes up with the rules on a whim. So Q-learning uses a reinforcement learning approach that proceeds on a trial and error basis and tries to come up with rules as it proceeds. While the asterisk or the star, which is believed to be this extensive search algorithm, has another meaning. It could mean that it is the last or furthest possible version of something. So if we want to link the letter Q to Q-learning, the Q with an asterisk would mean the final version of Q-learning. And if indeed the Q-star is an AGI, then it would fit the description. So if our assumption is correct, if the Q-star is placed in generative AI such as ChatGPT and GPT-4, they'll become more fluent and be able to convey reasoning. For now, the most thrilling aspect of the Q-star is its ability to solve mathematical problems beyond the one written in the training material.
Researchers wound up with more reliable answers and an AI that could actually solve math problems.
And this is very important because not only does it show signs of its AGI abilities, but it would also be a breakthrough for generative AI. Presently, generative AI lacks mathematical reasoning. And no, using a calculator to solve mathematical problems is not relevant in this description. The only way it handles math problems is by sending the data to the external program, and the result would be returned to the generative AI. With Q-star, there will be no need for an external program. It would have human-like logic and reasoning. And once generative AI can handle math problems, its abilities will be limitless. So what impact would Q-star have on the future market?
Capable of solving math problems? Is it capable of carrying out novel scientific research?
Let's start with the health sector. The Q-star could be used to diagnose diseases at the onset, develop personalized medicine, and design new drugs and therapies. In fact, the possibilities are endless because it won't be a regular AI. In the financial sector, it could be used to develop more advanced financial models, detect fraudulent practices beforehand, and provide improved investment strategies. This could mean fewer errors in predictions made by financial analysts, and better ways for individuals to attain financial freedom. For manufacturing industries, Q-star could be used to upgrade supply chains, create new products, and provide advanced manufacturing practices. This would lead to a boost in the global economy and ease the affairs of factory workers. In transportation, Q-star could be used in providing seamless traffic flow, creating self-driving cars, and designing new transportation systems. With this, moving from one place to another would be less exhausting and much swifter. And lastly, we'll be discussing its impact on the education sector. The Q-star might be able to create a more personalized educational system, where students would learn only what suits them best. The algorithm would also allow real-time feedback and automated task grading systems. So individuals can learn at their own pace and might not need to follow a rigid schedule. As good as it all seems, it's believed some scientists at OpenAI are not so thrilled by the breakthrough, because the supposed Q-star can end up being a threat to humanity.
There's still this contingent of people that are deeply afraid of the existential risk of AI within the company, and that potentially might do something drastic.
Right from the advent of artificial intelligence, many have worried that the robots and machines that make use of this technology would end up taking over the world. In fact, there are many movies to show how horrific it would be for the machines to take over. So, when Q-star supposedly showed signs of learning outside the material provided, scientists at OpenAI found it so scary that they wrote a letter to the board to raise an alarm. So, how exactly can Q-star pose a threat to humanity? Usually in the debate of whether or not AI can replace humans to carry out certain activities, the answer is always no, because of the limitations that it lacks intuition and only works with the data it has. But Q-star carrying out tasks outside its training material completely debunks this claim. So, for one, if Q-star is as advanced as the reports show, several aspects where human reasoning is presently needed would no longer be needed in the future. And since OpenAI is known for making its technology available to the general masses, everyone would have access to the technology. So who would need teachers, factory workers, or bus drivers when the Q-star algorithms can be incorporated into robots, cars, and machines to ensure tasks that seemed only feasible for humans to carry out are carried out by these machines? And this would lead to people losing jobs, especially low-skilled workers, which would mean an increased rate of unemployment, increased crime rates, and an overall increase in the economic gap. Another problem is that most people would depend on the AGI systems to carry out tasks, and any chance of humans retaining their superiority would be lost, because people would no longer participate in the activities that boost man's cognitive abilities. One more likely problem is what has been portrayed in several movies: the machines going rogue. For instance, the AGI is incorporated into a weapon, and instead of attacking its designated targets, begins destroying everything within its reach. And at that point, humans might not be able to interfere. However, the chief AI scientist at Meta, Yann LeCun, has said that OpenAI Q-Star is not really an earth-shattering technology and is more about improving the reliability of large language model, or LLM reliability. LeCun also mentioned that the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, has a long history of self-delusion and suggested that the report around Q-Star is all rumors and not as advanced as everyone is making it to be. So there'd be nothing to worry about. As it is, we don't know what is true and what is not, because everything is based on speculation. But the truth will come to light as soon as the project is unveiled.